Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Noraina. I will be presenting strategy analysis of PFIZER. There are 4 strategies to help identify the internet strength and weaknesses of a corporation alongside with opportunity and threats created by external factors such as strength, opportunity strategy, weaknesses, opportunity strategy, strength, threat strategy, and weakness, threat strategy. To start off, there is a 2 strategy can be taken into consideration for SO strategy. And first strategy is to maintain Pfizer as one of the largest pharmaceutical company. This is possible if Pfizer utilize their strength and opportunity to produce strategies that is advantageable to them. For example, combining S1 Strength 1, which is Pfizer producing billions of dollars in terms of revenue and opportunity the advancement in technology in producing new drugs to achieve the first strategy. Another strategy is to strengthen their company by merging with a lot other small company. Since Pfizer are renowned for earning huge amount of revenue each year, emerging with another company to create a better healthcare solution while also improving the pharmaceutical market is more or less straightforward for them. Next strategy is weakness and opportunity strategy. The first strategy is to re-examine their financial spending in order to tackle their weaknesses. Pfizer facing a crisis when they limit their production of a new drugs problem can be subsided if Pfizer focus on their R&D segment, taking into consideration the opportunity of growth in technology in creating new drugs. Another strategy here is Pfizer can always keep producing immunity products as the demand for it is huge. This is possible if Pfizer keep on producing blockbuster drugs such as Prevnar 13 to counter Pfizer's tendency of raising the price of existing products that are approaching patent expiration. Next is strength threat strategy. The first strategy taken here is by using its excellent research and development R&D program to reduce the threat or unsuccessful new product introduction. Next, Pfizer can use its strong mergers and acquisition strategies against the industry-leading pharmaceutical companies such as Bayer to abate the increasing market competition. Lastly, Pfizer can use its strong brand name, which can reduce threats given by increasing interest of private individuals. Last strategy remaining here is weakness threat strategy. Its strategy is to allocate further research efforts before new induction in the market, specifically into the biologics market, which requires keen and thorough studies. Next strategy is to fund capital expenditure on infrastructures for fermentation-based drug remedies and efficient treatment plants. Lastly is Pfizer to provide added marketing efforts to regain an acceptable public image for previously sold products through using different promotional tools like traditional media such as TV, radio, and newspaper advertising and product placement. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Nadia and I will explain to you about the alternative evaluation. First is about the investment in research and development R&D program. R&D is the heart of the fulfilling Pfizer purpose to deliver breakthrough that change patients' lives as Pfizer works to translate advanced science and technologies into the therapies that may be the most impactful for the patients. The discovery and development of drugs and biological products are time-consuming, costly, and unpredictable. In addition to discovering and developing the new product, Pfizer R&D efforts seek to add value to the existing product by improving their effectiveness and ease of dosing and by discovering potential new indications. According to Annual Report 2020, the number of projects in various stages of R&D the R&D pipeline is the process of drug and biologicals product discovery from initiations through the developments and to potential regulatory approvals is length and can take more than 10 years. Next is about merge and acquisitions. The main point is about acquiring wealth, mitigations the impact of the recessions and the expirations of the patent, establishing a lower and more flexible cost base, increase a wide portfolio for the established product. By acquiring wealth and PFIZER are highly complementary business, and together they can build the best diversified healthcare company in the world. They also believe that they can better execute their strategies and can accomplish far more together in the years ahead and than either company could have achieved on its own. The combination with wealth lead to enhancing the inline and pipeline patent-protected portfolio in the key invest-to-win disease area, such as Alzheimer's disease, inflammations, oncology, pain, and psychosis. Becoming a top-tier player in biotherapeutic and vaccines, accelerating growth in emerging market, creating new opportunity for established product, investing in complementary business, and creating a lower, more flexible cost base. Next, I will explain to you about the market development on emerging market. The main point is about high rate of economic growth. Second is about the increase the investment potential. Third is about the income per capita. PFIZER operations are conducted globally and it sells PFIZER product in over 128 countries. Emerging markets are an important component of the PFIZER strategy for global leaderships and the commercial structure organizations that the demographics and rising economic powers of the fastest growing emerging markets are becoming more closely aligned with the profile found within developed markets. Urbanizations and the rise of the middle class in emerging markets provide potential growth opportunity for PFIZER's product. According to the annual report 2020, the revenue for the operations outside the US are 20.2 billion, accounted for 48% of the total revenue in the 2020. Revenue exceed $500 million in each of the countries outside of the US. By total revenue, China and Japan are the two largest national markets outside of the US. Lastly, is about COVID-19 vaccine supply. In 2020, PFIZER business operations and financial conditions and results were impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. To confront the public health challenge posed by the pandemic, PFIZER have made some important investment on the development of a vaccine to help prevent the COVID-19. The risks and uncertainties related to the efforts to develop a vaccine to help prevent COVID-19 and potential treatments for the COVID-19, as well as challenges related to their manufacturing, supply, and distributions, are included in the innovative vaccines across all ages such as infant, adolescents, and adults, with a pipeline focused on infectious disease with significant unmet medical need. The vaccines is sold principally to the wholesalers such as the government. The prevalence of counterfeit medicines is an industry-wide issue due to the varieties of factors, including the adoptions of e-commerce, which increased during the COVID-19 pandemic, greatly enhancing the consumer ability to obtain the prescriptions and other medical treatments via the internet in lieu of traditional bricks and mortar pharmacies. The internet exposed patients to the greater risk as it is a preference vehicles for the dangerous counterfeit offers and scams because of the anonymity in efforts of the counterfeit.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Akila Shfika and I will proceed with alternate choice for PFIZER. The first one is market development on emerging market. PFIZER's mission is to become one of the world's premier biopharmaceutical companies. Every day, PFIZER works across developed and emerging markets to advance wellness, prevention, treatments, and cures that challenge the most feared diseases of the time. Consistent with their responsibility as one of the world's premier innovative biopharmaceutical companies, PFIZER collaborates with healthcare providers, government, and local communities to support and expand access to reliable, affordable healthcare around the world. The next is COVID-19 vaccine supply. PFIZER said, "We apply science and our global resources to bring therapies to people that extend and significantly improve their life." At PFIZER, they apply science and their global resources to bring therapies to people that extend and significantly improve their life. PFIZER strives to set the standard for quality, safety, and value in the discovery, development, and manufacture of healthcare products, including innovative medicines and vaccines. PFIZER's become one of the pharmaceutical companies that supply their vaccine across the world. And then acquisition Wyeth. Apply science and global resources to improve health and well-being at every stage of life. Also strengthen platform for consistent and stable top-line earning growth. PFIZER is now a more diversified healthcare company with product offerings in human and consumer health, including vaccines, biologic, small molecules, and nutrition across the developed and emerging markets. It has medicines in numerous manufacturing capabilities and a leading global presence. Wyeth possesses all of the highly valuable skills and experience essential to every aspect of the business and share their passion for improving health and well-being at every stage of life. Wyeth is now a wholly owned subsidiary of PFIZER Incorporation. And lastly is the investment in R&D program. PFIZER's core values are customer focus, community, respect for people, performance, collaboration, leadership, integrity, quality, innovation. In 2004, PFIZER founded PFIZER Venture Investment, PVI. Its goal is to identify and invest in strategic areas and businesses at the leading edge of healthcare science and technologies. PVI started with a 50 million annual budget and was PFIZER's way of staying ahead of industry trends and investing in companies which are developing compounds and technologies that will enhance PFIZER's drug pipeline and help drive the future of the pharmaceutical industry.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our lecturer, Madam May, and my fellow classmates. My name is Putra Ikhlas binti Sazali and I will be explaining on existing strategy implementation by PFIZER. So the first point is PFIZER implement a blockbuster business model as one of the strategy along with other pharmaceutical manufacturers where they rely more on research and development R&D to produce their high volume products. Blockbuster business model can also be considered as one of the techniques of any organization to spend a sum of their money for R&D, hoping in many of their business products generates a high return. So that's why PFIZER are expecting a revenue of more than 1 billion through this business model. So moving on to the next point is PFIZER aim to improve access to medicines and healthcare in ways that boost PFIZER's reputation among people while creating new opportunities for them as well. PFIZER's existing strategy is by restructuring their main operational business into innovative products and established products. PFIZER choose to focus on developing, registering, and value creating the medicines to improve their healthcare products by innovating it. As for already established products, the area consists of very low products which slowly becoming more exclusive in the market, legacy products, and emerging market products. Aside from that, PFIZER have an existing pricing strategy. A pricing strategy is the policy that any organization use to determine how much it will charge for its goods and services. This process varies by depending on the industry and market conditions where the available competitive advantage and in some cases competitive dynamics. Due to the drug pricing scandal during 2015,
PFIZER relied on their pricing strategy for their revenue growth as the scandal really catch the attention of the public. Besides, growth strategy is also one of another implemented strategy that have been practiced by PFIZER. As a result of aggressive mergers and acquisition, PFIZER chose to focus on two main strategies which to expand their capabilities and acquiring brands with high return profit. There are some of PFIZER's acquisitions such as they managed to sell their consumer products division to Johnson & Johnson on 2006 for $16.6 billion, while on 2015 they have acquired $16 billion from Hospira for their drugs and infusion technologies. Another information to that, PFIZER actually have tried to merge with their competitor AstraZeneca but got rejected for $118 billion deal. Last but not least, PFIZER have also implemented an innovation strategy on their business. PFIZER strongly believe that the blockbuster business model they use will be changed to the new one as the drugs may be exploited. However, PFIZER believe that they are able to maintain their position in the pharmaceutical industry by having a lead of merge and acquisitions after strategic planning with other business organizations. For example, in 2016, PFIZER wanted to expand their business to have the latest update and keep on track the scientific innovation for their innovation product by investing up to $46 billion. Their target market can simply be defined as those individuals who demand the drugs they sell for the betterment of the consumer's health care. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Julie. I will present about quantitative and qualitative method. First point is market development on emerging market. As for quantitative, clinical trials to expand the market. The company recently disclosed preliminary data that show its COVID-19 vaccine candidate was 90% effective, although a more comprehensive view of the complete data set is needed before regulatory approvals. Pfizer is also conducting clinical trials that could expand the market for some currently approved products and is pursuing growth opportunities that involve external pipeline projects through collaboration and acquisitions. And as for the qualitative methods, market leadership and growth in revenue, Pfizer's business is observed through several performance indicators. Pfizer is the 49th largest public company in the world and was the second largest pharmaceutical company by revenue in 2020. It generates sales was around $15 billion annually. As for February 2021, it has a market capitalization of $194 billion. The second one is brand recognition. Pfizer is the manufacturer and marketer of many brands and products that are well known all over the world. Pfizer has highly successful products that have become popularly known internationally. With a massive research and development, the company continues to develop and introduce novel products that benefit the business and its consumers. The second one is the investment in R&D program. First point, research and development, R&D and patent. Pfizer spends close to $8 billion annually on research and development. The company specializes in the development of vaccines and medicines across a wide range of medical fields. These include immunology, oncology, cardiology, and neurology. The company is also strong because of the uniqueness of many of its products, which have patent protection. Pfizer has many other products that perform profitably, especially products that initially have no direct competitors in the market. The company benefits from patent drugs to dominate target market segment. The company's continued R&D investment leads to continued change in its product mix and corresponding shifts in its market position. Next point is COVID-19 vaccine supply. As for the quantitative methods, COVID-19 response and coronavirus vaccine development, Pfizer's work in developing and mass-producing a vaccine for the COVID-19 viruses is unparalleled. Analysts have noted that this is the fastest a vaccine has ever been approved, rolled out, and mass-administered to the public. This is also the fastest response to a pandemic in recent history. In response to the pandemic, Pfizer partnered with BioNTech in April 2020 to develop a vaccine for COVID-19. As for the qualitative, the point is approval from WHO and FDA. The World Health Organization Strategic Group of Experts of Immunization (SAGE) has issued its policy recommendation for the rollout of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 mRNA vaccine. SAGE has confirmed that the vaccine is safe and effective. Hospitals in the UK have gathered real-world evidence, which is find out that a single dose of the Pfizer vaccine gives us a four-fold reduction in the number of asymptomatic COVID-19 infections. In December 2020, the FDA issued the authorization that granted distribution of the vaccine in the United States. The last one is acquisition with. As for quantitative, a new merger and acquisition. In 2019, Pfizer took bold steps to position the company for sustained growth with the plan to combine Upjohn and Mylan's strengths, resources and access. This was expected to close in 2020, but this has since been delayed due to the impact of COVID-19. Pfizer recent transaction, which combined its Upjohn division with Mylan MV, resulted in a loss of diversification for the company. However, this may lead to a more narrowly focused Pfizer in long run. The separation of the relatively slower growing Upjohn business makes way for stronger growth in advancing the pipeline of new drug candidates. In the long term, Pfizer performance remains stable. As for example, even during economic crisis, the company keeps its business profitable under its international presence. Emerging markets, various developed markets support the business when economic crisis affect other areas. That's all from me. Thank you.
I will explain to you about the Internal Factor Evaluation (IFE) matrix. Comparisons between existing and revised Internal Factor Evaluations matrix. There are no changes in the strengths, but there are slightly changes happen in the weakness. As the drug lawsuit, Pfizer has faced thousands of lawsuits, mainly filed for medical injuries aligned caused by some of its more popular products. It holds the record for the largest fine paid for the healthcare fraud lawsuit. The court ordered Pfizer to pay 2.3 billion in fines, penalties, and settlements for the illegal marketing claims. Next is about the vaccine supply issues. Pfizer failed to meet delivery quotas for the initial dose of the coronavirus vaccines at the end of 2020. This has prompted the Congress to scrutinize its plan for vaccine development and delivery. They have also noted that Pfizer benefit from billions of dollars in the federal funding to mass product the vaccine immediately upon approvals. As you can see that the total score of the new IFE is 2.65, slightly increased than before 2.5.
For comparison between existing and a revised external factor evaluation (EFE) matrix, there is no changes on threats, but there is slightly changes on opportunities. For growth in technology, Pfizer need to be advanced in technology because of the biggest competition in pharmaceutical business, and to make sure that Pfizer is not left behind and will always be the market leaders in healthcare field. And also, market of innovative products. By develop a new drugs that can cure new threats may provide not only brings profitable to the company, but also can create to strong brand name that leading a new development of drugs medicine. So the new amount for EFE is slightly higher from the previous EFE, which is 2.40.
Take corrective action. First is about market developments on emerging market. It is to introduce the product. Pfizer need to increase advertisement in emerging market and increase sales by promoting the products in the market. When the marketing to introduce the product is good, the product of the developments in the markets will become successful. Second is about the investment in the research and development program. It is to make an advancements in the technology. Pfizer prescriptions pharmaceuticals products are sold principally to wholesaler, but PFIZER also sell directly to the retailers, hospitals, clinics, government agencies, and pharmacies. PFIZER need to always prepare and advance technologies to ensure that there is no product delay may happen.
And for acquisition wires, PFIZER typifies many large drug makers, which have struggled to produce new blockbusters to replace those on which they also lost, and Wyeth itself loses patent protection on its own top drugs. An acquisition can be valuable if management recognize how rich their spending is and really cuts to maximize the profitability of the new organization. And for COVID-19 supply, because of this pandemic COVID-19, the COVID-19 vaccines are very in a high demand and all countries are desperate to get the vaccine. And by ramping up the production, we reduce the problem of the shortages in the COVID-19 vaccine supply.
In conclusion, PFIZER have always put the best effort in their strategy to maintain their reputation in pharmaceutical industry. This analysis that we made actually helps to identify which better strategy PFIZER should actually maintain to practice in their organization based on the SWOT, IFE and EFE results. Established organizations like PFIZER capitalize on their advantages, address their deficiencies and guard against internal and external challenges. They also maintain a close eye on their general business environment, allowing them to spot and exploit potential chances ahead of their competition. That's all from us. Thank you.